Did your garden supply you with more green beans than you can eat? If so, don't let them go to waste. Today I'm going to show you how to simply and safely pressure can green beans so that you can enjoy the harvest all year long. I know when I first started using the pressure canner, it was a little bit intimidating. Parents showed me how to do it, and one of the times we thought we messed up, and my mom and I actually went running out of the house. The pressure was getting too high, and we thought maybe we'd blow it up or something, but we didn't. My dad came to the rescue, and all was well. So I do understand the hesitation of using one of these things, but honestly, it's super easy to do. So let me go show you how I did these.
The first thing I do is take off both ends of the green beans. You can cut them off or you can just snap them off. It's kind of hard to show you while I hold the camera, but I think you get the idea. Just take off both ends. At this time, I'm looking also for any spots I might want to cut out before washing them really well. Now we're going to either cut them with a knife or snap them with our fingers into bite-sized pieces. My mom likes me to cut them because she thinks it looks more uniform. I like to snap them because I think it goes faster. Next, you're going to fill up your sterilized jars. I'm using quart jars. I've got a lot of beans to can, and filling the quart jars will just go a lot faster for me than doing multiple rounds of the pint-sized jars. Pack them as full as you can get them. I like to tamp them down to get the beans to settle a little better, and then I fill them to the very bottom of the jar's neck. You need to leave some space in there. Packing the jars is also another opportunity for quality control, finding any little spaces that need to be chopped out of your beans so that you don't have nasty little beans going in your jars. Now I've got all of my jars packed. I've sterilized the tops, the rings, and the seals. Then to quart jars, add 1 teaspoon of kosher or canning salt. Then the jars get filled with boiling water to cover the beans. Next, we're going to take something long and skinny and poke it down the sides of the jars to help release any air bubbles that might be trapped down in the beans. Quick tip, you can use a hot water pot to fill up the water that you're using to fill up your jars of beans. It saves a lot of time. It's already boiling hot, so you don't have to wait for that water to come up to the boiling temperature again. Before placing these lids on, I wiped each jar lid just to make sure there wasn't any grains of salt or anything on them to ensure a good seal. The pressure canner comes with this plate for the bottom to help protect the jars from the heat of the range underneath. We want to make sure that's in there before filling the canner with almost boiling water. This canner takes 3 quarts. Look at your box. Every canner could be different. Now I have just filled these jars so they're pretty hot and screwed the lid on until just finger tight. And then we just place them right on top of that tray in the bottom of the canner. This one holds 7 quarts, and I have 2 pressure canners, so I can do 14 at a time, and that's what I'm doing today. This little hole is where the steam comes out, and I like to just do a real quick visual check to make sure it's not plugged with anything. If you can see light on the other side, you're good to go. The lid just slides on. It has an open and close arrow, so you know which way to turn it. The handles are lined up. It's completely closed and ready to start heating up. I'm at sea level. We're going to need to get our pressure up to 11 pounds. So there's the little gauge up here that tells you the pounds. Different elevations require different pressure. There's an instruction booklet that comes with the canners, and it gives you different pressures per food for different elevations, so you can just look it up. Anyways, I started my first canner, turned the heat on. Now I'm getting my second canner ready with the warm water, and then I'll put the beans inside and get it going so that they can finish around the same time. It's going to take 25 minutes once we get the pressure up to the 11 pounds before they're complete. I start with the burners on high. Steam will start coming out of these vents once the water gets heated up, like this. And then we're gonna wait until we have a steady steam coming out of the vent. At first, it might just come out in gusts. Once the steam is steadily coming out, then we're going to time it for 10 minutes. After the 10 minutes, we're going to put the little pressure cap on it. This part used to make me nervous, but now I just kind of hold it to the side and pop it over the top, just like that. Once that cap is on, you'll notice that the pressure gauge will start building pressure and the gauge will move up. So we're going to keep an eye on it, waiting for it to get up to the pressure that we need, which is for us 11. If it gets a little higher, we're just going to turn the heat down a little bit, but we don't want it to go lower than the 11. So we're going to be careful to keep an eye on that gauge, and I would prefer to be pressure canning between 11 and 12. My grandma told me if it goes below the 11, then you need to actually start the time over again once you get it back up to 11. I'm not sure if that's actually true. I'd have to look it up, but I always keep it a little higher than need be, as opposed to letting it fall too low. My gauge shows 11. We're going to start the timer for 25 minutes and come back when it's done.
You can see there's this caution mark here. If it starts to get too high, you can't seem to adjust the temperature to make it go down, just pop this up and the steam will come out and it will go down quite quickly. All of them have the ability to do that.
So the time is up. We're going to turn off the burners and then just let the pressure canner sit until the gauge is back at 0. I just went ahead and let them sit overnight, so it's the next day. Everything's nice and cool. I'm taking off the lid, and then I'll take all of the beans out and put them on a towel to just set for several hours before putting them on the shelf. I can tell these are green beans, but I always like to put the date on top of the lid as well, so we can use any older jars first. Now the next thing is simply to take out the bottom tray, dump out the water, then we're ready to go for next time.
If you're interested in more videos on how to preserve the things you grow, go ahead and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.